Hey guys, Greg here. Good morning. We're gonna try to sneak in a few rounds of the Corrupted Gauntlet before work, so let's see how it goes, alright? Reminder, we're just trying to build this page here. If you wouldn't mind dropping a like, a follow, you know, whatever you got the time to do, everything will be appreciated here. And we'll keep dropping more content. For anybody that has played this before, you know that you can't really carry items into your Corrupted Gauntlet battle. So I just made a quick stop at the bank here so we could deposit all the armor and the other stuff I had in my inventory. So now we're going to go down into the Corrupted Gauntlet portal and we'll get started. We're going to right click here and do Enter Corrupted the Gauntlet. And as soon as we do that, that's going to trigger our raid to start. So, well, not raid, our battle I should say. So let's go. You'll see that I am using a plugin here up in the upper left. It reminds me how much of the items I still need to collect. It's really helpful. I think it's called the Gauntlet plugin. So certainly it'll help you make sure your time is on track and your inventory is squared away, so there's no surprises at the end of the gathering phase here. We got 7 of those pieces of bark, so now we can drop our axe or our hatchet there. I'm really trying to find a bow piece here, or a frame I should say, so that way we can build a bow. So we're looking for some little minion guys that we can kill to get those parts. The graphics here are pretty cool. That's one of my favorite reasons why I play the Gauntlet. Just a little bit different from a lot of the games online here. Kind of keeps you interested. Just gonna grab some fish here. We'll certainly need those for the final boss fight. And a reminder about the timer here. If that gets down to 0, we're out of time and we get thrown into the fight. So, ready or not, you gotta do it. Hey Sammy, good morning. Thanks for joining. One of these bats should drop the frame that I was talking about earlier so I can construct a bow, so we just gotta work through them one by one. There we go. I'm gonna grab the ores from this rock piece over here. We need 3 different types of ingredients for each of the armor pieces we're gonna make before the fight, so that's why we're spending a few minutes just gathering what we need before the real fun begins. Drop these here, we'll come back for them later. And now what I like to do is go in, we've got a few shard pieces from the animals we killed and the things we gathered. So we're just gonna make 3 vials. We made our bow. And then right after this we're gonna start looking for the demi-bosses because we need to kill at least 2 of those in order to get the final parts we need for the boss battle. We're looking for the big guys here, either a dragon, this dark beast, that's one that we definitely need. Oops, I should probably use the correct protection prayer. That's a good reminder for anyone watching. Okay, that bowstring is one of the critical pieces we need. We're gonna get 7 of these white things. Some sort of flower, I believe. Or herb, maybe. Not sure what it is. We still need 4 of the ores as well, so hopefully we'll find those along the way. And we're down to 3 minutes and 38 seconds, so we really gotta move here and try to find everything we think we'll need. There's the ores we were looking for, that's a good thing. Grab 2 more of those. Okay. So that's already most of the stuff that we need. Let's go back, we'll empty our inventory one more time. Gonna drop the fish here. I'm gonna pick up a couple pieces of the bark and turn it into some gear. Okay. The reason why I did that real quick is we want to have at least base level helmet, the chest piece, and then the leg armor as well. If we don't have anything going into the boss fight, we don't really have any chance of actually winning. So at least now we have the base gear set up, and then if we have enough time and money, we're going to try to advance that to the next tier of armor as well, which will give us quite a bit more defense in the final fight. I am a little bit worried we're short on time. There are plenty of times where I've just completely run out, which is not ideal, obviously. But it happens, and you just gotta try again the next time. I'm hoping we come across the dragon here. Really, the orb, I believe it is, that he drops is going to be the final big piece that we need for the fight. We're not really getting too lucky yet. Uh-oh. We may run out of time here. We'll see how it goes. Either way, I'm going to keep preparing the best I can. Whatever happens, happens. King Geo, thanks so much for joining. Up there's the dragon. If we can kill him quick enough, we've got a chance. That's good, he dropped some fish for us too, so let's take those. We're going to teleport back to the middle. Cook those fish, and then hopefully we'll have enough time to make our armor. We've got about 25 seconds left, so it's definitely tight here. I'm gonna make my mage weapon, a perfected version. We've already got the other stuff we need. We somehow pulled it off here. Whoops. Shouldn't drop that. It's a no-no. Okay, here we go. Just gonna eat some of those fish since I didn't use the right prayer earlier. I lost some health there. Now pretty much every 4 attacks here, we're going to have to switch our prayer style. That's the pattern that we'll be in. See, even when I pray the right way, I'm still taking some damage. There's nothing you can really do about that. is a little bit hard to keep track of the attacks. That's why I'm being a little quieter than usual. But hopefully we'll stabilize here and keep going. Like I said, every 4 attacks, that's when we're switching our prayer. And then also we have to switch our weapon to whatever he's not praying against. And that's pretty much the whole pattern of the fight there. Oh, that's my bad, guys. Guys, thanks so much for joining. I see we got 3 viewers out there. Definitely, if you wouldn't mind liking the page, following, subscribing, all that good stuff, I would much appreciate it. Let's collect ourselves here. You know, I miscounted there on my prayers and we got taken out, but at least it's only a 7-minute prep period, so we'll go back and do it again. We're going to collect our consolation prize here first and throw that in the bank, and then we'll start a fresh round. Alright, here we go. So again, we're going to try to get all the stuff that's in the upper left-hand corner here, fill up our inventory, and build our new gear, and then we'll be ready for the next fight. This bat here should drop the weapon frame that we'll use to build our bow and our staff, so we lose a few seconds there fighting those things, but it's kind of a necessary evil. Collect these white flower things. Remember, we need 7 of each of the items here. The tree bark, these white, I keep calling them flowers, I'm not quite sure what they are. And then also we need 7 ores. So that's why once I get to the 7th one, you'll see I just kind of leave it at that, and then I move on to the next item. Might as well grab the tree bark here. I'm going to drop it on the ground anyway, since we only have so much inventory space, so might as well just get another room out of the way. And you'll see what I'm going to do here after I grab the tree bark, so I'm going to peek through this next room to see what's in there. If there's a boss in there, we're going to come back and fight it once we have our bow made. And there's not, so now we know we can just avoid that room. So we'll move on to something else when we come back that way. We'll drop these pieces on the ground. We're going to make our 3 vials, which we need for, I believe they're stamina potions. Then we'll make our bow. And now we'll check out some more of the rooms. Forgot a tree bark here. I'll drop that one too. One less thing to carry. Now I'm going to walk right past these other trees. We don't need them anymore, so no need to carry things we're not going to use. Just grabbing a few fish here and there. Some of the monsters also drop them, so you don't really have to worry too much about getting the fish. Some will just kind of naturally find their way to you. Okay, so we still need one of those ores. Hopefully we can find another along the way. both of these herbs here, so we'll use those. We'll throw them into our vial. And our potions are just about ready. Okay, so here's a dragon. He's going to drop that orb that we need for our magic staff. Going to pick up the weapon frame here. Now there's another dragon, so this is interesting. Just so you guys know, if you see two of the same boss in here, even though the first one dropped the ore, the second one is going to drop something different. We don't know if it's going to be the melee piece, which I don't really use in my raids, or if it's going to be the bow piece. So we'll find that out together. I kind of like to multitask here. I'm just going to start putting some of my potions together since we're standing here anyway. Get two things done at once. And he dropped the spike, which is the melee piece. I don't really use that. I am going to crush it and get some shards from it though. So we'll take that. And now there's the last ore that we need, so we'll grab that one. There we go. You can drop some of these tools once you have enough of the items that you were collecting. There's no need to carry them around anymore after that. Okay, here's the final boss we need, and we've got about 1:45 to beat him, cook our food, and make our gear. So hopefully it goes down easily here. Okay, let's teleport back. We don't have quite as much food as we had last time, but if I pay attention to the prayers, we shouldn't really need it either. So let's see how we make out. Sometimes when your inventory is a little tight, you might want to just drop the fish again, just so you can pick up everything else. It makes the crafting stage a little bit easier. Okay. So now we've got all of our gear. Again, we don't have quite as many fish, so maybe I'll just peek over here and see if we can find some quick. We might not make it back in time to cook them, but it's worth a shot. So this might be another one, and if we get some unlucky hits here, I'm not sure that we'll be able to take the boss down, but we'll do the best we can. to be real tight because of the amount of food we have. But it'll still be good to show you guys how the mechanics go anyway, so not a total loss if we don't get the win here. About halfway done right now. We're getting closer. Oops, misclicked there. Ah. Dug my own grave there. You see, I misclicked on the left side of the map and it pulled my character over. So now, unfortunately, I couldn't step out of the red quick enough. The minion guys caught up to me. Everything went sideways. Ah, not the best run this morning. But let's try it again. You'll see we got some water runes. After all of our hard work there, we got 217 water runes. It's a good day. Let's do it again. I'm determined to get a win before I sign off here, so hang with me. Or if you just want to see me die a few times, certainly, drop that like button, subscribe, follow, all the good things. You can watch me die all day. No, we're going to be okay. We did much better that time. I think the key to the boss fight is remembering the 4 pattern. So he attacks 4 times, then he switches his attack. When we attack 4 times, he switches his prayer. So really, as long as you can remember 1, 2, 3, 4, and you do that over and over again, that's pretty much the whole strategy of that fight. It's just a little bit tricky to do when you're talking and whatnot, but really when you're doing it solo, it's not too bad. Let's grab as many ingredients as we can here. It's always good to get a full inventory before you head back to your, I guess your base we'll call it. Just because you don't really have a lot of time to make multiple trips out here. So it's kind of like, make the most of each one. We'll cook these fish and then we'll drop them here. Alright. Now we don't yet have our armor piece. or I should say our weapon frame, so we can't make that bow yet that we need. So we're going to keep looking around these other rooms until we find those little creatures that we can kill to get one. Okay, there's the dark beast over there, so we know where we can get at least one of our final fight pieces from. So I just made our first tier of armor. That means we won't need to make that at the end of the gathering stage here, so we're a little bit ahead of the game. Less stuff that we have to leave on the ground and then pick up later, so that's always helpful. I didn't forget about the dark beast over there. I'm just trying to explore a few other areas. Hopefully we can find the dragon, and then we'll know if we're good on time or not. Let's peek in this other room. Don't see him here. Okay, here's another dark beast. We might as well kill this one. Then we'll head back over. We'll kill the first one we saw. Completely forgot that I never made my bow. This is not good. There's those creatures we were looking for earlier. Okay, there we got our weapon frame. Let's just teleport over here. We're running low on time, so I'm just gonna jump into making our bow now that we know where some of the bosses are. We'll head back out. Did that one a little bit backwards, but it's okay. It should still be fine. Grab these white flower pieces. Alright, let's try this again with the bow. Just reading the comments in the chat here. First two runs didn't go so hot. Let's see how number 3 goes. Can't stress over it. As much as I want the pet, and you can't get the pet without winning, there's always another chance we can take here. That's the funny thing too, I really don't even care at all about the other items that drop here. I'm just chasing the Hunlift pet, and have been for quite some time, so if we get that today, really none of the rest of this matters. I'm just working my way back to the other dark beast that we saw earlier. It's a long walk though. Hopefully we get the orb from this one, because if we don't get the orb, we have to find another monster to fight, another boss. We don't really have the time I'd prefer to have to go looking for that. So we might end up having to do the final fight without even all the gear that we need, so that's going to be a problem. Oh, we got lucky. We got the orb. Amazing. So let's head back now. Again, really short on time. We've got less than a minute to do all the things. I'm gonna try to cook these fish real quick. We'll drop this. We're gonna use these to make our potions. We're down to 24 seconds. It's gonna be close. But at least we made some of our gear earlier, so again, those are a few less things we have to worry about. Okay. So somehow we pulled that off. We've got even more fish than last time. Oh. I actually didn't make the final version of my bow, but that's okay. We have my staff. But we have a staff, and that's all that matters. So good. We've got him about halfway down here. We're still good on supplies. Just gonna keep working through this, counting to 4. It's a little bit rough using this weaker staff. We're not really doing the damage we would hope to do, but hopefully we can pull it off. Running a little bit low on our potion here, but I think we'll have enough to make it. Less than 200 health here. This is much better than the last run we had. As I jinx us again. Wow, we pulled it off. Crazy. Looks like we got a combat task completed as well. I'm actually not sure what that one was. I'll have to take a look at it. Thanks, Sammy Jones. Scarlet, thanks so much for watching here. I'm sorry I missed your questions earlier. I'm trying to keep track of this 4 count here in the boss fight. We started off a little bit shaky here. Didn't really beat the boss the first 2 times, but just made some silly mistakes. So that's why we tried a 3rd time, and luckily we pulled it off. Let's see what kind of loot we got here. Okay. So we got about, what's that, 275,000 coins worth of gear. So that's a pretty good drop for 8 minutes of our time, or really probably 12 minutes including the fight. We'll throw that in the bank. Guys, if you wouldn't mind dropping a follow, you know, liking the video and all that, I'm going to keep trying to put some content out there. So thanks so much for watching. Let's do one more run. I think we got time for one more before we sign off, okay? Same old thing now. We're going to go back into the corrupted version of the Gauntlet. That is the harder version. We'll gather our supplies, we'll do the fight, and hopefully we get another win here. I'm actually remembering to get the armor piece here, or the weapon frame here first, so that's already improvement from last time. But really, there's a few different ways you can approach this. You know, it doesn't have to be the exact same strategy every time you come into the Gauntlet. We managed to piece the last one together, so it's all about just using your experience and, you know, just doing what you can to pivot around some of the challenges. We'll grab some fish while we're over here. Sometimes you'll get lucky at the end and you won't find another fishing spot, so it's always good to grab at least a couple when you're starting off. Grab some tree bark. Now what I'm going to do here is grab probably at least 3 of the white and 3 of the red, so that way it's going to allow me to create some of my armor when we go back to our base spot. Again, just so that way it's less we have to drop on the floor, less that we have to pick up again later, and in case we're short on time later, it's good to get all that out of the way. We'll drop our fish there. We're gonna make our bow. We're in pretty good shape already after getting all that stuff. We've got our first tier of armor. We've got our vials. We also got some fish, so that's a good start. Okay, there's the range boss. The dark beast here, so we're gonna take him out. Sometimes this tame beast takes a little bit longer. We're using a ranged weapon to kill a ranged beast, so it's not really the ideal strategy there. But usually it's just a few extra shots and then you're good. Okay. If you want to kill some of these little scorpions or something, you can. We do need to get, I believe it's 500 shards in order to have enough to make all the gear and stuff we need. So it's up to you exactly how you gather those. Also, good news, we found the dragon already, so that's the other piece we'll need for the final fight. So it's looking like time won't be such a challenge for us with this one. Just dropping a few of the things I don't need anymore. So now we really just need fish and a few shards and then some of those white flowers, so we're in good shape here. Let's go look for fish. That's our biggest concern right now. Oh, but we found the flowers. Perfect. We're gonna grab, we need one more after this. Then we'll go looking for fish. And there we go. Wow, this one's all just falling in our lap here. It's awesome. So we might as well load up with as much as we can. Not a bad thing to go into the boss fight with too much food. Obviously, I made a few mistakes earlier in the stream, so you know that could happen to anyone at any time. So we'll just load up the best we can here. I'm actually going to pick that scepter back up. We might have time to come back out for more food. There we go. I lost my base for a second. We're back. So now we'll pick our bark up, we'll go back to making sure we made all of our food and our weapons. Looks like I picked up too many ore. Must have miscounted there, but that's alright, just drop the ones you don't need. We we've got less than a minute here. We're just going to try to fish for as many fish as we can get. These paddlefish is what we're cooking and taking into the raid with us, so... Hey Raven, thanks for joining. This is our 4th attempt at the Gauntlet today. 1 and 2 weren't so hot, number 3 was much better. Hopefully 4 is the cleanest one yet. Okay, we don't need any of this other stuff. I'm just gonna drop everything we don't need here. So this is pretty much ideal. As long as I don't mess up the 4 count in the final fight here, it should be smoother sailing. Let's do it. Switch to range now. You can see that staff I'm using is doing a lot more damage than last time, since we got it to a tier 2. So this fight should be much quicker than the last one. Just gotta hide from those tornadoes here. If they catch up to you, it's oftentimes certain death. So, it's good to try to run away. So far, so good. It's under 300 health. Took quite a bit of damage there. I'm gonna try to heal while I'm running. It's kind of tricky once the map starts to shift like that. You take on the damage a lot quicker if you're standing on those yellow tiles. It's almost done though. There it is. Alright, that was definitely our cleanest run. Let's see what we got from the loot drop here. Okay, about 150k. Again, not bad for about, 11, 12 minutes worth of gameplay, so pretty cool stuff there. I think what we'll probably do in the near future, let's run some more Gauntlet boss fights here. I know the first two weren't so hot today, but thank you for watching. Certainly if you wouldn't mind following the page or liking the video, everything helps here. So thanks so much for dialing in. I appreciate you guys.